getting we had all of this stuff yesterday, getting the king out
so
of the way.
That bishop might end up.
Yeah, and white has to be careful because if he plays passively in a position like this, if he plays too passively, he may come to regret. This pawn can sometimes come under attack.
It doesn't look like a beauty at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, if you give black time to play queen d7 and rook d8, black is going to be better, just straight off. So you have to play with a degree of energy with white. And I'm quite sure that Caruana, as an experienced player, will be aware of that, the dangers of faffing around.
That's not his style. I mean, he's a very dynamic player.
No, he's a dynamic player. But what you don't want to do is to sort of shuffle around on the back two ranks and allow black to consolidate, because if black consolidates, he simply stands better. So we see this Wang Hao idea with takes and takes.
But that was followed by c4.
It was followed by c4, which was
would be a bit funny now, yeah. So there he goes, knight e4.
And the advantage of taking on a8 is at this precise, capturing now. Rook takes. Of course, the point is that black can't play queen takes a8 because his knight is hanging. So he has to take with the bishop. And the bishop is not ideally placed on a8. You would prefer to have your queen on d7 and capture with the rook. So it's a tiny gain for Caruana. Now he goes knight e4. He cuts out knight f4, which was a threat. And I should mention some other ideas. I don't know whether this is possible here. If black plays a move like queen d7, you can consider moves like knight h4. And this could be good and you want to put the queen in on h5. So you're actually saying to black, well, you've moved your king out of danger only to move it into danger. That's
we're coming to get it anyway.
One danger to come into a different thing. So f5, knight g5. And then queen h5 coming, and this is the kind of way that you have to play with white. You have to play dynamically and with full energy. Otherwise, your position doesn't. You can't justify.
Yes, that's
play. Okay.
A nice and tense game with.
Okay, so maybe we'll take a brief break.
We'll take a brief break and then we'll be back. And wait, sorry, there is a tweet. Wait, and so first I have to understand this. There's two legs are watching you.
God. Magnus b4, and in fact, Fabi played d4 as I suggested. Takes, and Yeah, it's a sort of simplifying approach. Bishop d2 takes, a rook e8, and I have I just have the tiniest preference for playing white, but I think a draw is.
You don't think the world champion is in any big danger?
No, I don't. No. Not at all.
No.
So I think a draw is very much on the cards in this particular game, which wouldn't be a bad result for Magnus, as we know. I think we understand that this is a very, very strong tournament. There's not much difference even between, the top and the bottom seeds. Yeah. So probably the winning score.
It's probably the first time ever where he played a tournament where +1 is enough to win.
Yeah, it's
to keep his rating.
Keep his rating.
Yeah.
I think anybody who gets +3 in this tournament is going to be home and dry.
Yes.
To be honest.
Yes.
So Magnus has plenty of time. He doesn't need to go berserk here.
At the same time, okay, they have to play on anyway, and we will say
it's not completely sterile.
It will come to a natural end. This game.
Yeah. It's not. Sometimes you get these positions and you see there is just absolutely no prospect whatsoever of creating, any interest. But here.
It's an interesting question from Chris Bird, the American arbiter. He says, how many of these games would have come to an end already if the Soviet rules were not in force? And
it is a very interesting question, actually.
I think it would make a huge difference who is sitting at the board.
Also, in the mind you, I think attitudes have changed a great deal in chess in recent years.
That's what I meant to say. It's not only the rules, but it's also the players.
In former times,
we're not going to name any names, but there were some of them who would have drawn any position. So that doesn't.
Even with an extra queen.
So it's not about that.
Just make a draw.
It's the mentality has improved a lot, I think. The wish to fight also in equal positions. It's Magnus Carlsen. You can practically name all of these guys.
There is something else, that I think if you don't put in effort, in the old days it didn't seem to make any difference at all. You would get invited anyway. But I think people have started to spot this, that the ones who are not trying, they don't get as many invitations.
Yes. So this love for the draw has disappeared a bit. It's with most of the top players, I think.
I think that's correct. Hey, if you want to see lots of quick draws, come along to the World Seniors, because everyone's all doddery. They've got no energy, and if you're playing in a nice venue like in Crete, you can just go to the beach or go and see some nice villages or something like that. So interesting question. I think to answer Chris Bird, I think there would be a difference, but not as great a difference as there would be in the past. It would have been in the past. I'm all in favour of Sophia rules. The one thing I don't approve of is 3 points for a win, because this leads to it's a sort of skewing of the the natural outcome. You can play two very, very good games of chess and have two draws.
Yeah.
And a guy who wins one and loses one is ahead of you. And it also, by the way, it encourages collusion.
Yeah. But I mean, but
that could be a problem.
But this is also a matter of mentality in the end.
Yeah.
I mean, So. But I think it's a good thing. I mean, if you cannot offer a draw, I mean, it just takes away one of the main worries of the players.
Yeah. What is the draw offer? It's a stupid rule.
Yeah.
You know that you're
just play on. You will learn a lot if you play on.
Yeah. And if they get rid of the stalemate being a draw, that will.
Oh, don't get me going.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, okay, a quick one from
quickie.
Yaroslav.
We all enjoy a quickie. Right.
Yaroslav from Vienna.
Yeah, tell us where you're from. Yeah, that's actually very nice if you can tell us. When you send in your questions, tell us if we've got anyone from North Korea. Do they have internet in North Korea?
They have the best internet.
The best.
The best. Huge. It's huge.
Yeah, good.
So, and Yaroslav wants to know if Magnus Carlsen will still be world champion in 2030.
2030.
That is 13 years from.
I'm willing to bet he will not be world champion in 2030, and that is with the utmost respect to Magnus Carlsen. I just think in demanding sports these days that even the greatest have difficulty to maintain their level for a very, very long time.
I'll also be reluctant even to look 5 years into the future.
Sure.
It's so knight c5. What is that? So Yaroslav. It's very unlikely.
Yeah.
But,
so Magnus has played in a very sensible way. It's actually just neutralizing this pressure on the diagonal, and now I'm starting to say, before I thought it quite likely it's going to end in a draw. Now I would say it's, very highly likely that it's a rather sterile position, and there are more pieces coming off. So more exchanges, and that's it. Actually, Bishop D5 is neutralizing. There was actually there was a threat to come in with Knight E6, and he's just saying, "Okay, I stop you."
Yeah, hard to expect that any of them is going to hit his head against the wall.
Yeah. So what? We've got interesting things going on in the other games. So oh gosh, we got loads of moves all over the place. So let's. Oh, we've been talking too much. So let's actually come on to Wesley looking. Well, we left it even before this. I think a lot of moves played quite quickly. And just a completely equal position. So this is going through the motions.
Yeah.
I think this is a sort of both players acquiescing, not even.
Yeah, just put it there.
Yeah, let's just go home. Yeah. And it's an absolutely correct result, fair result. So no complaints there. And this is a perpetual check, which is still a draw, and will be when I become
FIDE president.
FIDE president. It will remain a draw.
Yeah. Well, about the let's say the other changes that will take place when you'll become FIDE president, we'll talk another time.
Yep, that's right.
So maybe we should take a brief break and see if we can come back later with Magnus and Fabiano, or let's have a further look at some of the other games where they still have to. Nakamura, so the queens came off there.
Yeah.
So
and a bit, and it is